Hi everybody, today we'll take a look at the ground vehicles available in War Thunder at Tier 7 of the Italian Tech tree. We'll specifically talk about the light and medium tanks. If you want to see vehicles from the previous tiers, click on the right upper corner. This is the B1 Centauro MGS, known in-game as the Centauro 120. You can find this vehicle at Tier 7 at BR 10.7. It has a 4-man crew, commander, driver, gunner and loader. Its hull armor is 15 plus 50 mm thick for the lower glacis, 15 plus 30 mm for the upper glacis, while the front of the turret is 20 plus 50 mm, while the gun mantlet is between 20 plus 5 and 40 plus 5 mm. It is armed with the 120 mm Automelara 120-45 mm cannon, one coaxial and one roof-mounted 7.62mm Breda MG4259 machine gun, and one roof-mounted 12.7mm M2 HB machine gun. The main gun is able to fire the DM-12A1 ITFS high explosive anti-tank fin stabilized, the DM-33 APFSDS and the CL-3143 APFSDS, armor-piercing fin stabilized discarding sabot shot. The Centauro MGS started life as an upgrade for the normal B1 Centauro, to try and give it more firepower to bring it on par with the most modern NBTs. This would end up in a completely new turret that would house the Italian-made 120mm, controlled by a completely new fire control system with state-of-the-art sensors, such as a fully stabilized night and day IR and thermal sight for gunner and commander. This vehicle would also receive new composite armor screens that allowed for a better overall protection for the same weight. The full vehicle would be showed for the first time in 2003. The Italian army would use the Centauro MGS just for testing, while it would enter full service with the Royal Omeni Guard. The first MBT for today is the Ariete PSO. You can find this vehicle at Tier 7 at BR 10.7. It has a 4-man crew, commander, driver, gunner and loader. Its hull armor is 50mm thick for the lower glacis. The upper glacis offer up to 400mm of protection against chemical and 300mm against kinetic rounds. The front of the turret offer up to 600mm of protection against chemical and 450mm against kinetic, while the gun mantlet offer up to 530mm against chemical and 400mm against kinetic rounds. The side of the turret is protected with add-on composite armor capable of stopping most ITFS rounds, while the hull can stop also most 105mm APFSDS shots. It is armed with the 120mm Auto Breda 120-44mm cannon, one coaxial and two roof-mounted 7.62mm Breda MG4259 machine guns. The main gun is able to fire the DM-12A1 ITFS high explosive anti-tank fin stabilized, the DM-33 APFSDS and the CL-3143 APFSDS armor piercing fin stabilized discarding sabot shot. The Ariete PSO is a variant of the standard Ariete that received additional composite armor screens on the sides of the hull and the turret. The armor is called Peace Support Operation Package, or more simply PSO. The development of the armor would start in 2000, with the first time being deployed being in 2003 in Iraq during the Operation Antica Babylonia, where it would perform well against RPG rockets and ITA munitions. Unfortunately, the added weight would slow the tank down too much and the armor would be removed once the Ariete would come back to Italy. Only 30 of these packages were actually ordered and bought. The last vehicle for today is the Ariete. You can find this vehicle at Tier 7 at BR 10.7. It has a 4-man crew, commander, driver, gunner and loader. Its hull armor is 50mm thick for the lower glacis. The upper glacis offer up to 400mm of protection against chemical and 300mm against kinetic rounds. The front of the turret offers up to 600mm for protection against chemical and 450mm against kinetic, while the gun mantlet offers up to 530mm against chemical and 400mm against kinetic rounds. The protection of the turret can be improved further with the installation of the war package, that add composite screens to the turret and the side of the hull. It is armed with the 120mm Otto Breda 120 44mm cannon, one coaxial and two roof-mounted 7.62mm Breda MG42-59 machine guns. The main gun is able to fire the DM-12A1 ITFS, explosive anti-tank fin stabilized, the DM-33 APFSDS and the CL-3143 APFSDS, armor-piercing fin stabilized discarding sable shot. The Ariete project started out of the need to replace obsolete tanks like the Leopard 1A5 and the M60A1 that were still in service with the Italian army. After many mock-ups, the tank would be showed for the first time in 1987. Due to a general lack of funding brought by the end of the Cold War, only 200 Ariete would be ordered and delivered only started in 1995, ending in 2002. In 2002, a mock-up of the upgraded Ariete was showed, called C2 Ariete. This would be the debut also of the War Armor add-on package, created to be able to protect the front of the tank against APFSDS rounds. The C1 Ariete brought many upgrades over the previous MBTs, such as a new 120mm gun, more modern rounds, new sights, a more modern fire control system and sensors. The Ariete took part in many wars and military operations throughout the 2000s up to the present day.